You don't know what can really happen and what can really come from other things that you didn't expect.
Hey y'all, welcome back.
Or welcome to BLACC. I'm one of your hosts, Dominique, aka Big Dom. Yeah.
And I'm your other host, Naya, aka Vell, period.
And we back with another episode. We hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode about our balloon pop.
Yeah,
But
that was
now
fun.
this episode, we're going to get into a good conversation. But before we do that, as always, Naya, how you feeling today?
So I'm feeling good. This past weekend I've moved to a new place. As y'all can see, my background is blurred because it's a hot mess back there. But anyways, but yeah, I've moved to my new place. I like my new place. I'm just in the process of moving. I've been tired. I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
lie. Like these past few days, I've just been unpacking, moving stuff and sleeping. I had to take the today a half day today off from work because I've just been so tired and I had to catch up on stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I am at a like I would say I'm at a, like a 6, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
I'm at
feel
like a
that.
6.
I feel that.
Yeah. So
Man, look.
how's yours? Or
Earlier, I would say I'm out of 10. I think I have to keep my mind right, and I have been going through some things, man. Let me tell y'all, like Medea said, all my life I had to fight.
What's all the noise over there? All my life I had to fight. I love Harpo, but I'll kill him dead before I let him.
I feel like this month so far, I've been fighting, man. I really
yeah.
have. And I just got to keep my mind right and know that God got me. He going to get me through things. And that's it. Just trust and believe that God got me. So I'm doing good. I'm out of 10. It may not
That's
seem like it,
good.
but mentally, I'm out of 10. I'm just going to
That's
keep it
good, girl.
right and focused. Mm-hmm.
That's really good. I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you for that
Thank you.
because that's really be the hardest part of it all is to keep your mind right. And I think that's something that I've kind of been battling here lately
Mm-hmm.
is I could feel myself getting into a depressive state and I've been combating it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with all of this movement and everything like that, it's just been really overwhelming. So I just been trying to like combat it and stuff. But I've been just sleeping though, like
Yeah.
just sleeping it off. But that's like my go-to though. If I'm feeling overwhelmed or I'm feeling stressed, like I will go to my bed and I'll sleep like and
Yeah.
don't do anything.
Rest is
So
the best way to get that body and that mind right. Go rest. Rest
yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it's at one point it's okay, but when I start doing it and when I have things to do, that's when I feel like it gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to find a fine line between the two.
That makes sense. But I'm glad we're here. We're in the present right now. We all right. We doing good.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go ahead and get into our topic of the day. And
Yeah.
like we said last week episode, we were having a little funny moment and whatnot. But we're gonna
hmm
get into a good little conversation.
Yeah, I think this
Being
is good.
that, yes, being that, can you be holy and sexy at the same time? Ooh.
Yes, I feel like this is a really good topic to talk about because I see a lot on social media. I see a lot of people taking their spirituality, their religion seriously and stuff, which is a great thing. And I know that it can be a hard thing when you think about like the world today, how lustful the world is. And a lot of people, when you think about Christianity or you think about somebody that's taking their spirituality seriously, you think that
Mm-hmm.
they just boring and they think that they gave up all the fun lifestyle and stuff. So we thought that this would be a good topic to like discuss to, see what people's thoughts are on this and spread some light, show some light on the situation and see what people think.
Yes, and we got some questions we cultivated to see, okay, let's see how we can answer this and hopefully people can understand where we're coming from about this topic. So, the first question that Naya and I had put together is, how do you define holiness and sexiness in your life? Because like she said, in today's times, a lot of people got mixed reviews on how to be holy and can you be sexy as well while being holy, or is that not what you do? And you want to answer first?
Sure. So, I was watching a sermon from our pastor, Pastor Keon, a few weeks ago. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and he defined holy as, I think he defined it the Greek definition, and I think Greek is one of the first like languages or whatever, that was made. I guess that's what I'm saying. But he said that holy in the Greek means separate. So in my mind and reflecting off of that sermon, I feel like holiness is basically something that is sacred, something that is separate from the norm, something that should be held to a higher standard in my sense. And that's really it. He said
Been
something else.
connected to your higher self. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree. To
Mm-hmm.
piggyback off that, I was trying to figure out what does holiness mean. And without getting so far into church and the church lingo, I define it out. What makes you feel connected to your higher self?
Mm-hmm.
And by that is I dug deeper into that by knowing like what's your purpose? What's your integrity? What are you connected to? And what's your service you're doing for the public and for the greater good? And a lot of people, don't have alignment within themselves of their purpose. And that's just having high values and principle that you hold to yourself. Your integrity is how you act ethically in public and behind closed doors. And all this cultivates into what you feel is holy and your connection. You could be connected to nature, humanity, like Naya said, something higher than yourself. It's not
Mm-hmm.
always just got to be church and about the Bible and whatnot. There's other branches off of being holy. And the last thing I had said was about service is what are you doing that can help others that reflects your passion and your integrity to people. You want to do this, you want to do that. How are you servicing others in that need to become what you feel is your service? So that's what I feel in a little bit of a and my answer is kind of a little bit lengthy, but how I look at what being holy is. And before this podcast started, I didn't have a relationship with God. I always have believed in God, but until I met Naya and also my friend Kay, who put me more into perspective of how I can better my relationship with God. And it doesn't have to be what people think it has to be. You got to attend church every Sunday. You got to read the Bible. That's helpful. It is. Don't get me wrong. It gives you a better understanding and a background of how to be spiritual and understand God. But in layman terms of being holiness, is just what makes you feel connected to your higher self. And that takes a lot of deeper insight within to get that answer for yourself.
Mm. So what about sexiness then? So what
Ooh.
is sexiness to you then?
Sexiness to me is your confidence, it's your energy, it's your aura. How are you exuding and being magnetized of your presence? Like what are you attracting from your aura, from your energy? Also goes I think your authenticity as well, like being unapologetic yourself. That
Yes.
is super sexy because you
Mm-hmm.
ain't gotta do too much if you're just yourself. It's so
Mm-hmm.
easy to be yourself than to be somebody else. Like, come on. Like, we all should know that by now.
Facts.
And empowerment. How do you empower yourself? How are you owning your worth and not seeking approval and validation from other people? You don't need that. I don't want that. I'm okay standing in my own 2 feet, my own ground of who I am and how I walk in my purpose. That
Mm-hmm.
there is very sexy.
God damn it.
What you got, bro? Look,
Well, you said
what you
okay.
got? Look. Mm-hmm.
So mine is basically what you said. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just being confident, being authentic. I think that's being sexy. Like being yourself and being confident in it. Not being arrogant, but being confident. I think sexiness comes from within. Like what you wear, the tangible things, that doesn't make you sexy. It's all within, like within yourself is what makes you sexy. So I think, yeah, so being your authentic self, being confident
Yep.
and just walking with your head held high, walking with some value about yourself. That's what makes a person sexy. That's what I'm saying, being dominant, not like raw, but you know what I'm saying, just being dominant as in like, okay, yeah, like not saying you're not feminine, but
Mm-hmm.
being dominant in your own value, in your own
Yeah.
authentic self. So that's
Yes.
what's being sexy to me.
Yes, 100%. I think
Period.
we answered that greatly. Y'all let us know in the comments below how you define holiness and how you define sexiness, because the internet and people just scrutinize and make it seem as everything has to be a physical thing to be sexy. To
Right.
be holiness, you got to be in church and whatnot and praising God. This is our responses, and hopefully you guys can understand where we're coming from, but feel free to let us know in the comments below. But what's the next question we got put together, Miss Naya?
So the next question, sorry, my dog hooted. The next question is
what you feed her, bro? Like every time she always just passing gas.
well, I did give her some hard taco shells. I gave her some pieces because I don't got no treats, so I just gave her some pieces of taco shell. But
Damn.
that wasn't today, that was yesterday. Anyways, the next question is, what makes you feel confident and authentic without conflicting with your values? So, what makes you feel confident and authentic without conflicting with your values? I think that's a really good question. So, what makes me feel confident and authentic without conflicting with my values is the fact that I don't value tangible things. So, this kind of goes back to what being sexy is to me. I don't value what I have on. I mean, I do to a certain extent, but what I am or who I am on the inside and how a person makes me feel on the inside trumps like what a person can give me that's tangible. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes me feel confident, and it doesn't conflict with my values because what I value is, self-respect, is honesty, is, humor, things of that, a relationship with God. I value these things and I work on these so much, and I feel like there's no cap to it. And when I say no cap, I mean like two meanings. Like there's no cap as in there's no end to it. There's no end to your growth, to your closeness with God. There's no end to how honest you can be. There's no end in growing in these areas. And the second definition of cap is like ain't no cap to it. Like it's authentically yourself. If you working on your true inner values or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
of course I'm gonna feel confident about it because nobody can take that away from me. Like nobody gave it to me and nobody can take it away. So that's what makes me feel confident and it doesn't conflict with my values. So yeah.
No, I like your response a lot. No, I feel that. And to kind of piggyback what you said, one thing I said is practicing self-acceptance, because what you accept
Yeah.
about yourself can't nobody use against you.
Right.
I'm a firm believer in that. Like you can talk all you want to say about me, but if I own something and I own it, I took accountability, I walked in my truth, I accepted what I've done and who I am, you can't use that against me.
Right.
You cannot use that against me. Also, knowing your core values is a big role. And Naya and I did this early on when we started BLACC. We discussed
Yes.
and shared what our core values are. Because when you
Yes.
know your core values, you're not going to jeopardize and conflict that with nonsense and non-tangible things. Like Naya said, like we don't care about all this other stuff that's not tangible. So especially when you know your core values. Also, setting healthy boundaries. You got to stand and believe in the things you want to achieve in your life and what you want to have in your life by making those boundaries. So you're not conflicting anything. You're not going to straddle the fence because you know what you stand for and what you're not going to stand for. And I also put finding strength in vulnerability. I think that's a lot of growth, because there has been times I've been much more vulnerable lately. I really have. I'm not always. I know I'm Big Dom. Okay, I know that. I know that. I know, and I know I talk my thing, and I have a tough demeanor about myself. It's just because I'm very protective about myself, but I have been lowering that and letting my guard down slowly. slowly but surely lowering my guard so I can be more understandable and more approachable of who I am as a woman. Because no, don't nobody want no dominant and woman like that. I get that. I am working on being more soft with my approach, more feminine, watching my tone, watching what I say, and just being vulnerable. So I don't have to be just so someone can understand me. I think people understand you when you're more open and transparent. Sorry, transparent and
Trans
more
open was
open.
crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
trans open. Yeah, trans open.
What? Okay.
When you're more transparent and just you can let your guard down, people can better understand and respect you because you're being honest, you're being vulnerable. When you're more guarded and nobody wants to understand you. They're not going to understand where you're coming from.
Right.
And also, I would say, lastly, not conflicting, or the question you asked is cultivating healthy habits. And we spoke about this. I'm really big on health and wellness and well being. And when you make better choices for your livelihood and whatnot, your outer self reflects your inner self. So you can tell just by a glow, just by how somebody's looking, how they're acting, how they're talking, what they're showing themselves on the outside is a reflection of their inside. And but just by making those choices and sticking to it and building habits, man, it's a beautiful thing. Let me tell y'all.
And I just want to say that I really believe that when we recorded that episode of us establishing our core values, I really think that set the tone for our growth, bro. Because honestly, I mean, I knew my beliefs and things, but I never established like these are my core values. And I think a lot of people they kind of overlook these things because they think in their mind, okay, yeah, this is what I believe. I believe strongly of that. But when you actually like write down and sit and reflect and give yourself time to look and read like what you actually believe, I think it gives you a more, I don't know, a more 10 toes down effect on yourself. Like you like, okay, I'm really committed to these values. I'm really want to, you know what I mean? So I'm glad that we
Yeah.
did that in the beginning of, our podcast because I think that definitely set the tone for this whole shebang.
It sure did. And if y'all just now tuning in, we got some new subscribers and whatnot. I believe it might be, don't hold me to it, like episode 3. It was early on, like between 1 and 5 of what we talked and established our core values. And like Naya said, it really set the tone and established what we're growing into and what we're preparing ourselves for. And we're not taking nothing less. And we're allowing those core values to exude in our relationships, our friendships, our finances, our health, our mental, our emotion. We ain't playing around. We're not. No.
No, it was the last episode. You said, are they serious? We're dead the fuck serious.
We're dead ass. Yeah. Y'all serious? We're dead ass
We're
serious.
dead ass, bro,
Yeah.
about this
Yeah.
shit. We ain't playing
Yeah.
about this shit. I'm gonna be
Not
real.
playing.
We
Not
ain't
playing with it, bro, at all, bro. I don't want no type of nothing around my life. You gotta come with it or don't come at all. I'm so serious about that.
bro.
But
Don't even
I
get to
think,
that because I'm, shit.
girl, I think we had one more
One more.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so our last question about can I be holy and sexy at the same time was, are you allowing cultural expectations to shape your beliefs more than your own convictions?
You gonna answer first or me?
So I'm gonna go ahead and answer and say no, I'm not allowing cultural expectations because the key word in that question was expectations. And it kind of sent a shiver up my spine because from other past situations I have going on in my life, expectations ruin a lot of things. You shouldn't always expect this, expect that, because you're just giving yourself a false meter to finish and to live by, because you don't know what can really happen and what can really come from other things that you didn't expect. So I would say it's really just a yes or no question. No, I'm not allowing cultural expectations to shape my beliefs more than my own convictions, because I live in my truth and my experiences of my own life. And a lot of the times my livelihood and my experiences weren't cultural expectations. It was some other shit.
Mm-hmm.
It went deeper or it went higher than what was expected. And I just got to walk in my truth and walk in my life and my experiences. And that's really all I have to say to that. So I don't allow or believe expectation to set the tone of my own damn life. No. Thank you.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit. Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Let me go ahead and speak my little game on that motherfucker.
Go
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, for real. Okay. So are you allowing, okay. This is one of my favorite questions of our questions, because I feel like these past 3 to 4 years I've been in transition with this, because I feel like when I was younger I was a big people pleaser, and these past 3 to 4 years I feel like I've been shifting into just living in my own convictions. And what's hard for me in this big old head of mine, what's hard for me is when I have to, oh, this is a hard word. It's hard for me to tell the difference between my own convictions and cultural expectations to me, because I feel like we are subconsciously influenced by the culture a lot. And
Yes.
it takes a lot of self-awareness and self-acceptance to know when to recognize your own convictions. These past 3 or 4 years for me, I have been really diving into self-awareness and recognizing my own thoughts and recognizing what is influenced by others. Like, am I just doing this to be accepted by this person? Am I just doing this just to be liked? Am I just doing this? I've been asking myself these questions a lot more in these past, I would say, about 2 years. I've been asking myself that way more. So I really like this question, and I don't believe that I'm allowing cultural expectations to shape my beliefs, especially now. But I do think that they were before, and I think that it's easy to slip into that subconsciously.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, we are is surrounded by opinions. We're surrounded by opinions on social media. We're surrounded by opinions on Netflix. We see things on movies and stuff. We see how a person is living, and we see that it's working for them, and we might try to do it that way, and then it don't work for us, and we're expecting it to work for us, and when it worked for them and it don't, and so now you're depressed, or now you're
Yeah.
sad, now you feel like you did something wrong, when it's really not, you didn't do anything wrong. You wasn't in your own lane. You trying to step in other people's lane. You just gotta stay in
Yeah.
your own lane.
Yep.
So that's one thing that I don't know. That's one thing that I just had to recognize for myself. And for myself, one way that because of my value is deep within God, deep within my relationship with God, that's why I try to read the Bible, even not just the Bible, therapy, the Bible, just having an objective point of view is good.
Yeah.
So you're not just thinking about like your own convictions, and maybe you kind of got to be more objective and look at things from a bird's eye. So that's how I'm going to answer that question. I don't believe that I'm allowing cultural expectations to shape my life. Period.
Well said. Well said. And I feel you on that. You touched a lot of good topics within that question, like you said about social media. And there's just so many influential factors that we don't think is influencing, but it
Mm-hmm.
is, from
Yeah.
music, like you said, movies, what you're watching, what you're reading, what you've seen this happen, this person blew up from that, TikTok shit, all types of things that can really throw you off your alignment that you have for yourself, and what
Mm-hmm.
you expected to
Mm-hmm.
have for yourself will throw you off because you're following someone else's path. So that's why the act of discernment is so crucial to
Yeah.
have. It's a great attribute to have. And that's just the act of knowing before it already happens. You can
Mm-hmm.
just feel, trust your intuition, trust that voice in the back of your head, trust that gut feeling that you get, and follow that. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, if you go against that, you're going to realize, like, damn, I should have listened to myself the first time. I should have
Mm-hmm.
followed what I felt or how I thought over this the first time. And you're going to really beat yourself up because you didn't trust yourself. You got to
Right.
trust yourself. I know a lot too many people that tell me, and this is kind of go off topic, but on my solo trips I've done out the country, people are like, how do you do that? I could not do that. Blah, blah, blah. Do you trust yourself?
Right.
That's the first thing. Do you not trust yourself that you know how to safely approach this and do what you need to do? You know how to be where you're at, understand what to do to ensure your safety. It's just about trusting yourself. And I trust myself. So that's why I can walk in and I know my purpose. I don't get conflicted with other things. I don't allow stupid shit to influence me. I stay in my lane. But that's how you just avoid a lot of just
comparison, I would say.
yeah,
So you avoid a lot of
comparison
comparison
and delays and having those moments of where I was on a good roll and then damn, I just messed up because I did this happen, I allowed that to happen. All that could have been prevented by just your act of discernment and trusting yourself.
And and if something happens and you don't expect it, if it's a bump in the road, that don't mean to just go a whole different path. Sometimes you need to just be grateful and learn from whatever it was and then apply what you learn. I think a lot of people, and myself included, something will happen and they don't look for the lesson. They get shameful or they get down and
Yeah,
out
discouraged.
because of what happened. But there's always something to learn. That's one thing that's stuck in my mind. There's always something to learn from the situation. So just
Yep.
learn from it and apply it next
Yes.
time it happen again. Apply.
You said it. I was going to say understanding and applying it.
Yeah.
Those are two golden things to do in your life to really see change and really just to understand what's going on and apply it so you can really just exude and go on with your life and be happy and be peaceful and content with what you got while working for what you want.
Dead ass. Yeah.
So dead ass.
This is a good ass episode. I think we had a lot of good points. And to conclude, I think that you can be holy and you can be sexy. You know, being sexy, it can mean a lot of things. You know what I mean? It can mean, showing a little bit of skin here and there. It can mean showing your little tits. But, let's just keep your values higher. Let's just make sure you're being sexy, but you're still within your values and you straight.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I agree. That was well said. I think we answered those questions greatly. And comment below if you agree to what we said about being holy, about being sexy, and are you allowing cultural expectations to shape your beliefs, or are you just walking in your truth and letting that be that, owning your own convictions? Because man, Naya and I, we ain't playing this year. We are really just setting growth in our pathway, and we're not here for nothing less than what we deserve and what we are working for, because we know any good thing, anything that's worthwhile takes time. And
for sure. That's facts. That's freaking facts. And to wrap up this episode, I will pray for us. Pray us on out. So if you can close your eyes and bow your heads, please, ladies and gents. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this wonderful day. I thank you for bringing all of us together, me, Dom, and our audience. I pray that whoever's under the sound of my voice, I pray that they walk in their authentic self. I pray that no shame hits their bodies today, God, because whatever sin that they have committed, whatever wrongdoing that they have committed, I pray that they know and that in some way you show them that your love will forever, ever, ever exist. And it will forever be shown to them in every day that they live and eternity after that. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
We can
that was good.
For that one.
No, I felt that. I'm telling you, y'all, Nia will outpray anybody, and I ain't trying to seem like like her. Yeah, no, I'm putting you up there, but your prayers, bruh, be meaningful and very deep. And you say so not so little. You say less words, but it's like a high impact. Cause I feel it, bro. I just do.
Yeah, no, that's my dog up there.
Sure. Yeah, that's my girl. But yes, y'all, thank y'all once again for tuning in. We hope you guys are appreciating that we listened to some feedback and we kind of shortened things up a little bit.
We shut our damn mouths.
Yeah. So please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel at BLACC Wave. If you want to be a guest on our podcast and talk a topic that you're interested in, please email us at blackgroup8@gmail.com. And since TikTok is still around. I don't know. We lost our shit, but we still got the platform and we post on it kind of. I think, yeah, our social media manager, she handles it. But you can find us on TikTok and Instagram at BLACC Podcast _. And that's all, y'all. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Stay blessed, never stressed. Y'all take care, and we'll see y'all next week.
Deuces. Bye.
See ya.